Right now, something extraordinary is happening in our skies that's barely being discussed. Interstellar object 3I Atlas is about to come into an amazing alignment with the sun, the moon, and the earth. It has the power to catalyze great changes here on planet Earth as well as in consciousness. Through scientific research, as well as information I've received through channeling, I've identified three important things that we need to know about 3I Atlas and the effect that it's going to have on our world, on our sun, and most importantly, in collective consciousness and our trajectory of global awakening. Hi, and welcome to the Medium channel. I'm Adam, and maybe you're feeling it already. Maybe you feel high energy or low energy, or just feel different, feel like your body's changing, your world is changing. And there's good reason for that. And by the end of this video, you'll have a good understanding of why this could be the most important energetic or spiritual gateway of our entire lifetimes. So, is this a natural phenomena, an interstellar object, only the third one discovered, but we imagine that there's probably billions of interstellar objects roaming the Milky Way at this time. But could it actually be a life form? Could it be imbued with consciousness? Could it even be alien? Either a probe or a spacecraft. Until we know for sure, all possibilities are on the table. But for what we do know, it's an interstellar object, but it's certainly a very energetic, dynamic, and a different phenomenon than we've ever dealt with before. So to start with, before I jump into the three things that we need to know, the specifics of what's going on is that October the 21st, I'm filming this on the 20th, 3I Atlas will be in superior conjunction to the sun, or on the opposite side of the sun, in a direct alignment with the earth, and the moon will be new. So that's a natural inferior conjunction that the moon makes with the earth every month. That's the full moon, basically. Now, as that's happening, we also have comet R2 Swan coming into its perigee with the Earth, and comets are energetic travelers of the solar system. We have some choice planetary geometry. The fact that both of these bodies are moving along the elliptical planes where the planets circle the sun, rather cutting through the plane and everything. These are mega million lottery odds, and that's what fuels the speculation that maybe this is something conscious, something more than just a random event that's happening. It's worth noting that 3I Atlas is slightly below the elliptical plane, or the plane that the planets move. So it's really, in essence, not an exact alignment. It's slightly below. There's a slight curvature. But this is the perfect solar effective and geo-effective positioning for it to transmit energy and affect the sun, because energy moves in arc lines. It doesn't move in a straight vector. And I don't know the exact degrees. I'm not an astrophysicist, or for the Trekkies out there, damn it, Jim, I'm a medium, not an astrophysicist. But I do believe that it's in a precise position. And then the moon is new, so the moon also adds a little bit of fuel, because the moon affects the gravitational and the electromagnetism. And with all the other aspects that are going on, it's lottery odds that this is happening right now. And it's right behind the sun, so we can't see what it's doing, in the perfect position to transmit energy and information to the sun and to the earth. Then on October the 29th, it comes into its perihelion with the sun while it's still pretty close, or if not, still in that solar effective position. So I've got actually a lot more information on the details of the alignment of what's happening the 21st and 29th. You can check out above. That might be helpful to understanding the information in this video. But let's dive into the three things that we need to know. The first one is that it will affect the sun. And the earth and moon are in alignment. It's a new moon, so it affects gravity and the electrical circuitry of the sun and the sun-earth connection. Basically, it affects that. Every new moon it does that, but every new moon we don't have a strange interstellar object behind the sun at the same time. So 3I Atlas is an unknown, And given the distance, it'll probably be negligible as far as a gravitational influencer, unless it's a lot larger than NASA believes, or it's super, super, super dense, almost like dense as a black hole, basically. But it has a very, very large coma, half the diameter of the sun, according to infrared photography. And this was back a while. It's probably grown since. And it's almost certain that the coma is dusty plasma. Plasma is ionic. Plasma is electrical. Plasma affects the electrical circuitry. So this object in this geo and solar affected position is affecting the electromagnetism of the sun and enhancing it in that position with the Earth and the moon, the gravitational effectors on the other side of it. It couldn't be more perfect from where I'm sitting. So let me dive into my notes. But is the object in solar and geoaffected positioning transmitting cosmic information to the sun? And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But the idea here is with all this additional energy that affects the corona of the sun and the surface and just beneath the surface of the sun, it excites the energy. What does that do? It creates stronger, more frequent solar flares. We're in solar maximum, maybe just starting to go into the descending phase. So we're in solar maximum anyway, where there's more sunspots and more solar activity, as well as filament ejection and other things. And all the solar activity does have an effect on the Earth. It has an effect on consciousness, it has an effect on energy, but it also affects the geology as well as the atmosphere of the Earth. And that brings us to the second thing that we need to know about this, and that is that it will change the Earth. And solar activity affects geological and atmospheric conditions, leading to more earthquakes, more volcanoes, more frequent and stronger ones, more intense weather events, and it also has an effect on consciousness, and I'm going to get to that in a second. If you're enjoying this video, please like, comment, and share. If you want to see more of these videos come up on your homepage, subscribe to the Medium channel. So the third thing that we need to know is that it will change your body and it'll change your consciousness. It'll change your mind, your body, your emotions, or catalyze changes in the aforementioned. So it will energize and shift consciousness, collective consciousness. Our biology responds to energy, responds to the energies that affect it. It responds to the Earth, the changes of the sun. All these things affect our biology. It affects our energetic fields, which affects our emotions, our minds. And it's going to open up higher awarenesses, I do believe, and open up new fields of information. I'll explain what I mean in a second. So whether 3i Atlas is on 3D awareness, whatever 3i Atlas is in 3D awareness, I believe it to either be an aspect of universal consciousness or a conscious being unto itself, maybe even an alien transmitter of sort or an interdimensional transmitter of sort. This alignment right on the new moon, which can enhance the circuit given all the other aspects of planetary geometry and several comets also interacting with the Earth and the Sun, is likely transmitting information to our Sun. Now, why is that? Being that it's right behind in that effective position, in its closest proximity, I believe that it's able to transmit information like code, like patterns of energy and light that transmit information to the sun, which affects the earth and affects consciousness. The sun, the giver of life on the physical, is a generator or expression of the central sun or the spiritual sun. And I believe this is new information, new spiritual upgrades from our interdimensional or extraterrestrial forebears who are guiding us currently on our human evolution. So it transmits light code frequencies that then affect the earth fields and the collective fields, catalyzing new awakenings, opening us up to new superhuman abilities. In essence, creating a new race of superhumans, so to speak, that in the past only the enlightened masters had these gifts and abilities. So they've always been available. They've always been in our DNA, but they've been locked up, so to speak, dormant, if you want to use that expression. And these new light code frequencies, this energy that's coming in, will have the effect for those of us that are doing our spiritual work, that are more open, that are ascending. It's going to unlock these new codes. This new information is going to help to catalyze the changes within ourselves and open up to higher consciousness, to higher gifts, as it were, to supernatural, superhuman gifts, as it were. So let me get back into my notes here for a second. So it's catalyzing a new awakening, opening new superhuman abilities, and it's creating a quantum leap in consciousness. This will, in time, change our geopolitical structure into something that's much more fair. So even people that aren't ready for the awakening and may not notice any changes, it's affecting everybody on some level, including global leaders and the consciousness within the very earth herself that feeds our human consciousness and our terrestrial and extraterrestrial connections, as it were. So this will in time change our geopolitical structures, expose deception, tear down the old facades, cause humanity to rise up to higher levels. It's just a catalyst, a step in a long evolutionary process, but probably the most significant step of our lifetimes. So the great cosmic shift is now. 3i Atlas is the messenger, the transmitter, the catalyst of this new information. So what we want to do now to be able to receive these upgrades, to not have to be made to feel uncomfortable, we want to clear our energetic fields. So do a little bit of more in the way of meditation or breathing exercises. Do a little bit more in the way of heart coherence work, spiritual exercise and stuff like that. We want to clear our vessels now of all the old programming, all the old stories and such. And we want to connect more with our higher selves, more with our spirit, more with our guides, the ascended ones, the angels, and great source. And to be able to just open our fields to receive these upgrades. And if we're able to be fluid in our bodies and in our minds, so that's where spiritual exercise comes in, because the social conditioning makes us very rigid and very tight. And then when higher energies come in, it becomes uncomfortable. It brings up anxiety or even illness. So we want to be more fluid than that. So spiritual exercise and meditation, learning how to be present and learning how to work with the heart. And we'll leave a video for heart-brain coherence above, or maybe I'll do that on the end screen. I'll decide what the end screen's in a minute. But do your spiritual work, double down on that. Let yourself be more open to receive these upgrades, especially if you are on an awakening journey in this lifetime. This is your time to quantum leap to the next level and connect with the earth grid, connect with the trees, connect with nature, connect with your heart, connect with your higher self and your purpose and great spirit source and God. And this is going to be an amazing shift. It's going to be years in the making, but we're going to see the shifts within months. We're going to see changes in our own lives, changes in how we perceive things, changes in how we assimilate information, changes in what we're able to access, and an upgrade in our spiritual, psychic, and healing abilities. So that is what I have for you. So I'll put the video over here that explains more about the importance of information that I received. I'll do another one with the remote viewing that I did over here. I did that in mid-August, so before anything was known, and you'll see what I was able to pick up on before it was known. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you. We'll see you at the next video.